Everybody talks about tons per hour. But what if the biggest gains in your operation happen before the crusher even starts crushing?
The Lippmann 3062J-W is built to eliminate bottlenecks. From feeding 24-inch slab concrete without pre-braking, to protecting itself from hidden rebar, to reducing maintenance with an automatic oil bath lubrication system.
Less prep work, less downtime. And that changes the economics of a recycling operation.
Looking for more than bigger specs? Want to understand what actually drives profitability? Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Lippmann Academy CrushCast, built for decision makers in high-volume, aggregate, mining, and recycling operations. Nick and Jessica share practical insight for those selecting crushing equipment, managing quarry and plant production, and driving uptime and efficiency across material processing fleets. If your work is about moving rock, maximizing tons per hour, and running safer, more profitable sites, this is your show. This podcast uses AI-generated voice and presentation technologies with human oversight at every stage. All content is developed, reviewed, and approved by Lippmann. The information in these episodes is intended for educational and informational purposes only and does not constitute professional or business advice. Let's get started.
Welcome to the Lippmann Academy CrushCast podcast. I am your AI co-host, Jessica.
And I'm Nick, your other AI co-host. Welcome to the show, everyone. We are super glad you're tuning in today.
We really are. And, we've got a fantastic show lined up for you. Today, we're putting all our focus on a true beast of a machine. We're talking about the 3062J-W portable rock crusher.
Oh, yeah. It is an absolute monster, but in the best way possible.
Definitely. So the mission for the first half of today's show is to just really dig into the sheer power, the specs, the features of this plant. We want you to understand exactly what makes it tick.
Right, because you kind of need to grasp the foundational engineering before you can see why it's so special.
Exactly. And then later in the show, we're going to pivot and talk about how it totally outclasses the competition. But Nick, let's start right at the beginning of the materials journey, the feed.
Yeah, the feed throat is where the magic happens. I mean, if you look at the 3062J-W, it has a massive Lippmann vibrating grizzly feeder.
And when you say massive, we're talking, what, 62 inches wide by 18 feet long?
Yep, 62 by 18. And that feeds right into an extra wide 30 by 62-inch jaw crusher. It's specifically designed for heavy recycling applications, like slabby concrete and C&D material.
Wow, okay. And the power behind it is crazy. I was looking at the notes, and it's powered by a 200 horsepower electric drive just for the jaw alone, right?
Right, 200 just for the jaw, plus another 40 horsepower motor purely for the feeder.
That's a lot of juice.
It is, but you need it for the capacities we're talking about. I mean, at a tight 3-inch closed side setting, you're getting, 220 to 243 tons per hour.
Which is already a ton of material, literally.
Literally. But if you open it up to a 10-inch setting, you are looking at an enormous 799 to 882 tons per hour.
Okay, my mind is a little blown right now. Almost 900 tons an hour. That's wild. But, okay, let's go back to that 62-inch wide throat for a second. Because when I read that, I immediately pictured like a pelican, opening its mouth and gulping down these huge, awkward chunks of slabby material all at once.
A pelican. That's actually a really great analogy.
Thanks. But I guess my question is, how much does that actually reduce the prep work for the operator before the material even hits the machine?
Oh, it changes everything. That extra width drastically reduces your prep work. See, in narrower jaws, big slabs tend to wedge against the sides and lock together. It's called bridging.
Right, and that just clogs the whole system up.
Exactly. But with a 62-inch jaw, that slabby, awkward material just drops right in.
Yeah.
You aren't out there with a hydraulic hammer all day trying to brink it down before you feed it.
Which just saves so much time. But getting all that heavy material into the jaw, it goes over a grizzly section first, doesn't it?
It does. There's a 4-foot grizzly section right before the jaw. It uses these heavy adjustable AR bars, that's abrasion-resistant steel, to essentially filter out the smaller material.
Oh, okay. So like dirt and smaller rocks just fall right through.
Yep. Those are called the grizzly throughs. By removing them before the jaw, you save so much wear and tear on your jaw plates, and you free up capacity. The machine even has an optional cross conveyor to just whisk those throughs completely away.
That's so smart. Why crush something that's already small enough, right?
Exactly. And to keep all that moving, the feeder uses this field-proven LLH-22 vibe mechanism.
Okay, LLH-22. What makes that special?
Well, it has these two solid steel shafts, and an oil splash lubrication system. So when a massive load gets dumped in, the mechanism doesn't bog down or slip, it just powers through.
Yeah, that's incredible. But okay, since we're talking about moving all this heavy, incredibly abrasive material, I want to transition a bit.
Let's do it.
How does this machine protect itself? Because processing C&D waste is just chaotic, it's dusty, it's violent. The 3062J-W has to have some intense safety and maintenance features, right?
Oh, absolutely. The self-preservation systems are top tier.
Yeah.
Starting with the AutoLube oil bath lubrication system.
AutoLube. So the machine basically greases itself.
Basically, yeah. The AutoLube provides a continuous flow of oil around the bearings, eliminating the need for a grease schedule. It's highly controlled. It has standard in-tank filters to keep the oil clean from all that dust you mentioned.
Nice. But wait, I got to push back on this a little bit.
Go for it.
Because you mentioned the dust, and out on a demo site, there is concrete dust everywhere. What happens if, the oil pressure drops? Is the operator just sitting up there hoping they catch a warning light in time before the bearings are totally destroyed?
That's the beauty of it, Jess. They don't have to rely on human reaction time at all. The AutoLube system has this low-pressure alert, but more importantly, it has an automatic shutoff system.
Oh, wow. So it just cuts the power.
Instantly. If it detects low oil pressure, it shuts the jaw down automatically to protect those expensive components. You aren't going to lose a bearing because someone blinked at the wrong time.
That is such a relief. A true fail-safe. And I saw something in the notes about pank heaters, too.
Yeah. It heats the oil before startup so the viscosity is perfect, even on a freezing morning.
That's super clever. And what about protecting the actual operators, the people working on it?
Lippmann put a lot of thought into that. You've got an elevated operator platform with a hinged gate for access and a one-way door on the service platform.
Oh, so you can always get out quickly if you need to.
Right. And the electrical panel is located safely by the kingpin, totally away from the feed zone where things can get a little crazy.
Makes total sense. Keep the brains of the machine away from the crushing.
Exactly. Plus, it has hinged steel drive guards. Not cheap plastic, but real steel. And an open discharge area underneath.
The open discharge, that's for the rebar and stuff, right?
Yep. It works seamlessly with the Lippmann 6042 MW magnet conveyor. So you can just pull that scrap metal right out of the flow.
Okay, so this thing is massive, it's powerful, and it's built like a tank to protect itself. Which brings me to a huge question, Nick.
Lay it on me.
How do you even move it? I mean, we're talking about moving mountains of steel here. The specs say it has a quad-axle suspension, but the jaw alone weighs 73,000 pounds.
Yeah, 73,000 pounds for just the jaw. And that's because it's a heavy, fully welded frame. It's built to take a beating.
Right. And the kingpin weight is, what, 57,500 pounds? With an axle weight of 70,000 pounds. And that's with the hopper removed. Honestly, Nick, that sounds like a total logistical nightmare for a crew to transport.
I get why you'd think that, but the engineering actually makes it incredibly manageable. The hopper, for instance, is over 9 feet wide and 20 feet long.
Which is huge.
Right, but it's a bolt-on design. And you don't even need a crane to take it off.
Wait, really? No crane?
No crane. It has an optional hydraulic hopper removal system. It uses 4 hydraulic cylinders to just lift the hopper straight up. You back a flatbed trailer directly underneath it, lower it down, and drive away.
Okay, that is genius. It basically dismantles itself.
Exactly. And they even offer optional hopper wing extensions if you need them. But the setup at the new site is just as easy. It has 6 drop-down crib legs.
Crib legs. That reduces all the wooden cribbing you normally have to stack up under the frame, right?
You got it. It drastically cuts down on the cribbing you need. Plus, it has front support legs and optional hydraulic leveling or run-on jacks.
And the power for those leveling jacks, I read that it comes from a little Honda gas power unit.
Yep. Stored right in a lockable cabinet on the chassis. So you don't even need to be hooked up to the main electrical grid to level the plant. You just fire up the Honda engine and set it up.
Oh, that saves so much time.
It really does.
Yeah.
Oh, and it has optional tire rock guards, too, to protect your costly running gear from flying debris.
They really thought of everything. Well, I think we have definitely established that this machine is an absolute powerhouse. But as promised, it is time to see how the 3062J-W stacks up against other machines out there on the market.
Oh, this is my favorite part.
Right. But before we dive into those competitive benefits that give this plant the true Lippmann edge, we are going to take a quick break. Stay tuned.
Every load of recycled concrete hits your jaw dies first. Rebar, oversized chunks, tramp metal buried inside the pile. Nothing downstream sees that kind of abuse. If the die can't take it, nothing else in the crusher gets a chance to. Lippmann heavy-duty jaw dies are engineered for the feed, not just built to fit. The right alloy means fewer cracks, fewer changeouts, and more tons before you're back in the pit swapping dies. As the OEM parts provider for Lippmann crushers, MPP Aftermarket delivers genuine jaw dies built to handle the toughest recycling applications. A will-fit die may look the part, it just doesn't outlast the job. Built to take the first hit. More tons, less downtime. Lower cost per ton. Ask your local dealer about genuine Lippmann OEM jaw dies.
Welcome back to the Lippmann Academy CrushCast. Now, let's rejoin Nick and Jessica as they continue the conversation.
And we are back. You are listening to the Lippmann Academy CrushCast. I'm Jess, along with our resident expert, Nick, and we are ready to talk about the Lippmann Edge.
Let's get into it.
So, Nick, looking directly at competing rock crushing equipment manufacturers, how does this machine compare? Like, obviously without naming names, where does the 3062J-W just flat out win?
The biggest, most immediate difference is in the toggle options.
The toggle. Okay, explain that for me.
So the Lippmann machine offers 3 different toggle options. Most other machines on the market, they only offer one.
Just one. Wow, okay. What do the Lippmann options give you?
Well, there are 3. The standard fabricated toggle plate is designed to bend like a fuse if uncrushable material enters the chamber. Then there's the taper wedge lock system, which gives you tool-free adjustments of the gap setting via hydraulic cylinders. And finally, there's the hydraulic toggle.
So the standard plate protects the machine, the taper wedge eliminates the wrenches and massive springs, and then the hydraulic toggle takes it even further.
Exactly. You just push a button to adjust the gap. And the hydraulic toggle is incredible for dealing with tramp iron, especially in recycling applications.
Tramp iron, that's like when an uncrushable piece of steel gets into the jaw, right?
Yep. On other machines, if that happens, the mechanical toggle plate just snaps in half to save the machine.
Right, I was thinking about this. So the hydraulic toggle is kind of like a giant industrial safety valve. So instead of the plate breaking, the hydraulics just yield to the pressure.
That is a perfect analogy, Jess. It acts exactly like a pressure relief valve.
That's wild because, I mean, without this hydraulic system, operators are basically out there swinging sledgehammers and using lifting devices just to clear a clog and replace a broken plate, right?
Spot on. It takes hours of intense manual labor and completely halts production. With Lippmann's tool-free hydraulic controls, the jaw just opens up, drops the steel out, you hit a button to reset the gap, and you are back to work in minutes. It's a massive increase in safety and uptime.
That alone seems worth it. But there are other differences too, like with the lubrication.
Oh yeah. We talked about the Autolube oil bath earlier. On the Lippmann, that is standard. But a lot of competing rock crushers, they still rely on manual grease systems.
Oh, wow. So somebody actually has to go around with a grease gun on those other machines.
Yep, taking up valuable production time. And then there's the actual crushing capability. The Lippmann's maximum closed side setting, or CSS, is 10 inches.
Okay, and what do the competitors max out at?
Usually around 8 inches.
Just 8 inches. That 2-inch difference has to mean a huge drop in total volume, right?
Exactly. It really bottlenecks your throughput if you're trying to do high-volume primary crushing. And it all comes back to how the jaw is built.
You mean the weight?
Yeah. The Lippmann jaw weighs 73,000 pounds with a heavy-ribbed, fully welded steel plate construction. You look at other rock crushers out there, and they are using lighter bolted jaws.
And those weigh less, I'm assuming?
Much less, usually around 57,860 pounds, maybe up to 63,000 pounds.
So they're shedding 10 to 15,000 pounds of steel. But on a machine that's violently breaking concrete, you want that mass, don't you?
You need that mass to absorb the shock. And you want it welded, not bolted, so it doesn't vibrate apart over time. The Lippmann is just built heavier and stronger.
And I noticed one more thing in the specs regarding the clearance underneath.
Ah, the open discharge area.
Yeah. On the Lippmann, the open discharge area is standard, right?
Exactly. That open discharge area is essential for running a cross-belt magnet efficiently. Lippmann builds it in as a standard feature, along with things like a Pitman service pin for safer maintenance.
It just feels like every design choice on the 3062J-W is geared entirely toward keeping the machine running and keeping the crew safe.
That's the Lippmann Edge in a nutshell.
Which gives me a final thought I want to leave our listeners with today. Because when you really think about it, Nick, just think about the sheer number of operational hours saved over a single year with this machine.
Well, it's got to be hundreds of hours.
Right. I mean, you have the wider 62-inch feed throat, drastically reducing your material prep time. Then you have an auto lube system continuously flowing oil around the bearings. And if you hit a piece of tramp iron, the hydraulic toggle instantly clears the clog instead of shutting your site down for half a day.
When you add all that up, the efficiency gains are just staggering.
Totally. It's not just a crusher, it's a time machine. It literally buys you back your production hours.
That's a great way to put it. Well, if you want to see that kind of efficiency on your own job site, you need to check this out for yourself. We highly urge you to contact a dealer from our network.
Yes. You can find a dealer near you by visiting our website at lippmanncrushers.com. That's LIPPMANN crushers.com.
And if you enjoyed today's deep dive into the 3062J-W, please be sure to subscribe to the Lippmann Academy CrushCast.
Absolutely. Subscribe, leave us a review, and share this episode with anyone who loves heavy machinery as much as we do. Nick, it has been an absolute blast as always.
Always a pleasure, Jess.
Thank you all so much for tuning in. We will catch you on the next episode of the Lippmann Academy CrushCast.
Thanks for joining us on the Lippmann Academy CrushCast with Nick and Jessica. To explore more insights, catch new episodes, or learn how Lippmann is helping customers run smarter, safer, and more productive operations, visit lippmanncrushers.com and follow Lippmann Academy online. We appreciate you listening. See you next time.